Hi and welcome to my little video here on another amplifier. This is a Rockola amplifier out of a 1465-200 selection jukebox. I got it in from a customer. I'm going through it. He's restoring the jukebox and I'm doing the amplifier for him. The amplifier is done now, more or less. Quite an unusual amplifier this. I haven't come across one of these before from a Rockola. A bit of a different circuit design and a few things to point out. And while we're at it, we'll also point out the operation of the AVC, automatic volume control, which seems to confuse a lot of people, and there's a lot of questions on the forums and stuff about them, so we'll have a quick demonstration of what's going on with one of those. Okay, so here we go. It's a ceramic cartridge fitted to this jukebox. Got an input of about 700-800 millivolts to drive the amplifier to full output. Unusually on this amplifier, normally the first valve here from the phono input is an amplifying valve. On this amplifier it's not. You'll notice if you look at the schematic, which is the first valve here, is wired as a cathode follower going straight into this little PEC, which is an encapsulated circuit. All those little components are encapsulated in some sort of compound years ago. Makes a very small component with all those little things inside of it. Very early form of integrated circuit. Well, those break down. They can sometimes short out, or the components can go off, drift off value, and as this is a tone correction circuit, it does affect the sound of the amplifier greatly. So best to rip that out and remake this little circuit board on a piece of Board, which is what I've done, and I'll show you under the hood and you can see what exactly I've done with that. Right, we're under the amplifier now. It's all been recapped. As you can see, I've got one more cap to replace here, which I didn't have, the non-polarized. That's just come in today actually, so I'll fit that in a minute. That's a little section there that I put a little Board into with the components mounted on it, and that does away with the PEC, or replaces the PEC with discrete components. You must do that for to maintain the sound quality of the amplifier. Okay, so we'll go back on top. Right, we're back on top. The amplifier is switched on. It's got the full input going out and the full output coming out of it, as you can see up on the scope there, just about. And now I'll demonstrate the AVC. The AVC is on at the moment, and with it on, we're getting a good output on the scope. That's equivalent to at least 30 watts output. If I switch the AVC control off, you will see this rise. I'll switch it back on. You can see it fall down. So yes, removing the AVC tube or switching it off does increase the output of the amplifier. But the amplifier is designed to have AVC, so it should give plenty enough output for the jukebox. 30 watts is plenty for a jukebox with it operational. If you need to turn that off to get decent sound, then you've got a dying amplifier or something else wrong with the sound system. The amplifier should work fine with it switched in. And then now we can see what this AVC is doing. So we know that it's reduced the output. That's with it off. That's with it on. So yes, it does reduce the output. But what happens if I reduce the input from the signal generator into the scope? You will see it dip, and then the AVC will automatically bring it back up to the same level. I've dipped it. The AVC is coming back up. And if I go above it, you'll see the AVC bringing it back down. You see? Put it up. And that is probably overloading the input of the amplifier. Now if I switch the AVC out, it'll probably go into clipping, which it has. You can see top of the waveforms clip right out now. That amplifier is horribly distorted, but that's because I'm overloading the input. But the AVC will take care of it and drop it back down. So this amplifier, plenty loud enough with a working AVC. Once we've done that, I'll turn the input down a little bit. It should be about 800 millivolts for full output, which is what we're on now. and then we'll go to square wave and we'll check the linearity of the amplifier. So if I go to square wave, you can see the wave not too bad at all. I can adjust the tone control slightly probably to, there you go, nice square wave. Tone controls set here for a flat output. I mean the high is in number 8 of the treble, and the bass is about halfway for flat output. If I can reduce the bass, see it reduce, or I can put it up. Same with the treble, boost, cut. Okay, and then if I switch it back to sine wave, you'll see that the AVC bring the size of the sine wave back up. And that's back up now to full output. Okay, so a quick look at the Rockola 1465-200 selection amplifier. No model number on this amplifier, but I have got the circuit for the 1465 machine here, because I have restored one of these previously. But there is a few differences in component values in the amplifier. To be honest, I've ignored the schematic if I find a difference and stuck with what Rockola fitted, because that's more liable to be correct, and the amplifier is working fine. Okay, thanks for watching, hope you found it mildly interesting. Another video coming soon. Thanks.